Hello all, and welcome to this week's Let's Play. Today we are experiencing the landmark edition of Dear Esther. So let's take a walk upon the shores of mystery.
Dear Esther, I have lost track of how long I have been here, and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to me that I have to remind myself to actually see the forms and shapes in front of me. I could stumble blind across these rocks, the edges of these precipices, without fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea. Besides, I have always considered that if one is to fall, it is critical to keep one's eyes firmly open.
Seems like sound advice. Is this some kind of abandoned island? What the hell is this? Ooh! What the fuck? Well, that's not hygienic. Ooh. Oh, can I grab that? Oh, it just zooms. Okay. Food and goods. Well, I see neither food nor goods here. Ooh. Yep, we have safely surmised that this house is abandoned. Let's go into the other part of the house. Here. Phosphorus! Oh, no, it's paint. There's a lot of paint. Why is there so much paint? Are they paint? I have no idea. Whoa! Oh, lighthouse! Lighthouses are, like, neat to me. You know, it's like, I don't know. I've always found them very interesting. I have no reason why. Alright, do we go down that path or the upper path? Let's take a stroll on the beach first. Oof. This is very, like, foreboding. Like, it just feels like it's getting ready to storm, like, way out there, and we're just going to get hit by a tsunami at any moment. Do we have feet? We do not have feet. I love the rare occasions where you play a first-person game and it gives you feet. This is not one of them. Is that a cage? What is that? Garbage! Somebody's littering my beach. Oh, they're like... Oh, I bet they're like crab traps. Or whatever those... There's a word for those. I don't know. I don't know what the word is. Is it just a bag? Ooh.
There was once talk of a wind farm out here, away from the rage and the intolerance of the masses. The sea, they said, is too rough for the turbines to stand. They clearly never came here to experience the becalming for themselves. Personally, I would have supported it. Turbines would be a fitting contemporary refuge for a hermit. The revolution and the permanence.
I'm not sure what our dude's all about here. Like, he just seems to be, like, walking around this island and reminiscing to himself. Oh, hello. What's this? Who's this? Huh. Some kind of strange pattern. Yes, nothing quite like a stroll along the beach line to be able to discuss with yourself something to reminisce. That was an atrocious accent, I apologize.
Dear Esther, I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample. I will carry a torch for you, I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
Is this a car? There's a whole car here. What the... We're like... Huh. Just walk out into the ocean. I'm so depressed. What the... Can I... Man, what am I even doing? I'm just out here, like, just trying to submerge myself. Oh, God. The fuck? What the fuck was that? That was, like, genuinely alarming. I don't like this. I don't like that. What's down here? Just nothing? What the fuck? Can I, like, go up here? Or what the fuck? I assume that I have explored everything here. I don't exactly know what I'm doing. And now I'm wet. Wet and cold, probably. Looks like it would be cold. That looks like a sunset, where I'm just waiting for like a 6'5" Valkyrie warrior maiden to come down and just like pierce me with her lance. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't know how old this game is, but I bet it was really pretty back in the day. Like, it's still pretty now, but like I bet that was a big deal. Just like the little ferns and things. And like how they kind of they move independently. That's really cool. Where's our lighthouse? I think that's where we come from. Let's go this way, I guess. Oh, there's something blinking over there.
The mount is clearly the focal point of this landscape. It almost appears so well placed as to be artificial. I find myself easily slipping into the delusional state of ascribing purpose, deliberate motive to everything here. Was this island formed during the moment of impact? When we were torn loose from our moorings, and the seatbelts cut motorway lanes into our chests and shoulders, did it first break surface then?
Whoa. I'm starting to get the idea that, like, this dude's wife is dead because of a car accident.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this: to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
What the fuck? What is that? Got a little mini Stonehenge down there. What is that?
I quote directly: a motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company. That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst them. Despite their tedious inclination to quote scripture, they seem to me the most godforsaken of all the inhabitants of the Outer Isles. Indeed, in this case, the very gravity of that term, forsaken by God, seems to find its very apex. It appears to me that Donnelly, too, found those who wander this shoreline to be adrift from any chance of redemption. Did he include himself in that, I wonder?
This dude is like losing his mind, I'm pretty sure. What the? A lovely little cave over
Dear
there.
Esther,
Okay.
I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
This hermit, this seer, this distant historian of bones and old bread, where did he vanish to? Why? Asked the farmers. Why? Asked Jakobsen. Why bother with your
What
visions
the
at all
fuck?
if you're just to throw your arms up at the cliff and let it close in behind you and seal you into the belly of the island, a museum shut to all but the most devoted?
What the hell? It's like luminescent, like bioluminescent kind of thing. Oh. Oh, this is like that paint we found earlier? Like it's like glow in the dark? What the hell is this? Well, that cave was nice and unsettling. What's up with this boat? Don't drown. Don't. Come here. Swim. Swim, my good man. Swim. Help. Help.
Come back.
Whoa. What the fuck? Oh, scared me. Okay, so apparently don't fucking go into the water too far, or you apparently do die. Well, I guess we're going this way.
He still maintains he wasn't drunk, but tired. I can't make the judgment or the distinction anymore. I was drunk when I landed here, and tired too. I walked up the cliff path in near darkness and camped in the bay where the trawler lies beached. It was only at dawn that I saw the bothy and decided to make my temporary lodgings there. I was expecting just the aerial and a transmitter stashed in a weatherproof box somewhere on the mount. It had an air of uneasy permanence to it. Like all the other buildings here, erosion seems to have evaded it completely.
I'm not sure what's going on with this. This is an odd experience for a game. Like, it's basically... I've heard of these things called, like, walking simulators before, which is, I think, kind of what this is. It's just, you don't really do anything. You just kind of wander through and, like, the story unfolds upon itself. I know it's like Amnesia's like that. Like, Amnesia's basically a walking simulator. It just happens to have, like, monsters and scary moments in it.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome break services, but although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Huh. I get on the ship. Like, there's no jump button. How the hell am I supposed to, like, get onto things? Like, every other button literally just zooms in. That's all it does. What the hell? I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the hell this thing's about. Like, I feel like this is not... Eh? No. I feel like this is, like...
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat.
Oh.
How else could new hermits have arrived?
Hermits. What's that? These symbols are kind of everywhere. I don't know what's, I don't 100% know what's happening. Yeah, people tell me every now and then, like, they're just like, Hef, you know where I'd love to live? I'd love to live on a secluded island, maybe have a beach or something like that. To which my response is kind of like this, where I'm just like, do you see that shit? Nuh-uh. Like, I don't want to be, like, that isolated from the world. No, thank you. And plus, like, living on the beach or something, living out at sea, like, you just look out and you're just like, I'm going to get hit by a fucking tsunami. That's what's going to happen to me. If I moved to the beach, I would 100% get smacked by the first tsunami to actually make landfall on the secluded island that I would be on.
I've begun to wonder if Donnelly's voyage here was as prosaic as it was presented. How disappointed not to have found the bones of the holy man. No wonder he hated the inhabitants so. To him they must have seemed like barnacles mindlessly clinging to a mercy seat. Why cling so hard to the rock? Because it is the only thing that stops us from sliding into the ocean. Into oblivion.
Feel you, brother. Is this where this came from? No, okay, we're upper level. Alright. Like, seriously, look at that. Like, tell me, that's not foreboding, right? Like, that is 100%, like, startling. Like, this would just make me so nervous. And what's that, like, giant beacon thing just out there, like, glowing like nobody's business? Right there's probably, like, some sort of, like, eldritch overlord or something like that. Just waiting to come and take me away. Wait, didn't I just... Is that where I came from? I didn't know where I'm going at all. Ever.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
This is, like, really kind of fucking dark. So, like, yeah. I mean, his wife's definitely dead, right? Like, we're very... That's a fucking hole, Jesus.
Was this what Paul saw through his windscreen? Not Lot's wife looking over her shoulder, but a scar in the hillside, falling away to black forever.
Jesus. Do we do it? Do we jump in? Do we totally ruin the narrative and just jump in? Yeah.
Come back.
Alright, well. You got a trophy for dying. Good job.
Away from the sea and towards the center. It is a straight line to the summit, where the evening begins to coil around the aerial and squeeze the signals into early silence. The bothy squats against the mount to avoid the gaze of the aerial. I too will creep under the island like an animal and approach it from the northern shore. The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
He died a sad goat herder. More of this paint. got taggers on the island. Like people just like running around like just throwing all the graffiti out. Ew.
3 cormorants seen at dusk. They did not land. This house built of stone, built by a long-dead shepherd. Contents: my camp bed, a stove, a table, chairs, my clothes, my books. The caves that score out the belly of this island, leaving it famished. My limbs and belly famished. This skin, these organs, this failing eyesight. When the battery runs out in my torch, I will descend into the caves and follow only the phosphorescence home.
You're a weird dude, you know that? Well, when in doubt, keep heading towards the eldritch horror that's blinking. What the? Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down there, fella.
Jakobsen's ribcage, they told Donnelly, was deformed, the result of some birth defect or perhaps a traumatic injury as a child. Brittle and overblown it was, and desperately light. Perhaps it was this that finally did for him, unable to contain the shattering of his heart. In half-light, his skeleton a discarded prop, a false and calcified seabird.
This man's narrative reminds me of the song by The Police called The King of Pain. Give it a listen sometime.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. He'd struggled halfway down the cliff path, perhaps looking for some lost goat, or perhaps in a delirium, and expired, curled into a claw right under the winter moon. Even the animals shunned his corpse. The mainlanders thought to bring it home unlucky. Donnelly claims they dragged it to the caves to thaw out and rot, but he is proving an unreliable witness. Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg.
But
I think the femur is broken.
what?
It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The
Hellishly.
medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
That's optimistic. Wouldn't that be something, just like walking through this cave here or something, just like, Rah! Like I would be so pissed. I would not be ready for this at all. Ooh. What's this? Nothing. This is literally just a hole. What does that say? Caribbean history? These like this is just like what's fallen out of his vehicle after the crash or something. Like, is that what this whole thing is? Is like him like basically dying or grieving or something? I don't. Games like this sometimes, stories like this, they're just sometimes way over my head when it comes to like conceiving what's happening. Then my brain's also just like just roll with it. Let it immerse. Just be immersed. Ew. Whoa. Oh man, where's the amnesia monster? What the hell is this? What the okay.
Donnelly's addiction is my one true constant. Even though I wake in false dawns and find the landscape changing, flowing inconstantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always upon me.
Whoa. 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 What is happening in here? Dicks. There's just dicks everywhere. What the fuck is all this? What? Whoa. Oh, they got little dudes. They're little mushrooms that glow. And apparently can hiss. Whoa. What the hell?
I first saw him sat by the side of the road. I was waiting for you to be cut out of the wreckage. The car looked like it had been dropped from a great height. The guts of the engine spilled over the tarmac, like water underground.
What? What the hell is it? This is crazy looking. What is this? Oh, there's another path here. I'm trying to be a smartass here, but I'm in genuine awe. This is really, really weird. Oh, what? Whoa. Whoa. Oh, what the hell? Oh, this is deep, man. What is this? Shit. Like, I can't be eloquent enough to, like, talk about what's going on here. Like, this is fucking cool. What the hell? They got caves like this somewhere in the world? Because I want to go now. Whoa. There's no way in hell this is going to be good for us. Ooh. More little glowy dudes. Ooh.
In my final dream, I sat at peace with Jakobsen and watched the moon over the Sandford Junction. Goats grazed on the hard shoulder, a world gone to weed and redemption. He showed me his fever scars, and I mine, between each shoulder the nascency of flight.
Huh. Man, I couldn't imagine like being on shrooms and playing this game. Like everything be. What the fuck is all this now? See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this would be like so overstimulating. It's already really
I will
overstimulating.
hold the hand you offered to me, from the summit down to this well, into the dark waters where the small flowers creep for the sun. Headlights are reflected in your retinas, moonlit in the shadow of the crematorium chimney.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Am I stuck? Might be stuck. Oh man, even up there's kind of... Goddamn. What is this game, man? What's that? Behold, Damascus taken. Damascus is taken? Behold, Damascus is taken. Ooh. Some more alien erotic art. Acts on 22:0. Damascus is taken. Just written a whole bunch of times as Damascus is taken. Huh. Just more neon cave. What is this stuff? Oh, whoa, okay. Oh. I'm getting Skyrim vibes. Go up, buddy. Go up. Man, if Skyrim looked like this, I would have played way damn more of it. Yes, I know mods are a thing and make it look prettier, but just let me have this, okay? Hey, oh god! What the... Oh, fuck, okay, What? What the fuck, where are we at? These are cars? Am I supposed to investigate the cars? Hero? Hero. Esther? Is you in here? Hero? I do not hitchhike well. Ooh. Whoa. Oh. Wolf. This reminds me of Return of the King when Spider Queen came out and got Frodo. Really hoping that don't happen right now. Alright, we have now left the pretty cave and now we're in pirate land. A tent. What the hell? Just a bunch of discarded clothing. Ooh. Pretty moon.
Oh, I wish I could have known Donnelly of this place. We would have had so much to debate. Did he paint these stones or did I? Who left the pots in the hut by the jetty? Who formed the museum under the sea? Who fell silently to his death into the frozen waters? Who erected this godforsaken aerial in the first place? Did this whole island rise to the surface of my stomach, forcing the gulls to take flight?
Ooh. Oh man. Shit. Well, that's didn't go well. Looks like one of them Japanese, like, feudal Japan, like, kind of areas where, like, a bunch of samurai would get together and start fighting one another. Ooh, easy. Just random fucking candle in the middle of the ocean. That's good. See this candle? This is where you must stop.
We shall begin to assemble our own version of the North Shore. We will scrawl in dead languages and electrical diagrams and hide them away for future theologians to muse and mumble over. We will send a letter to Esther Donnelly and demand her answer. We will mix the paint with ashes and tarmac and the glow from our infections. We will paint a moon over the Sanford Junction and blue lights falling like stars along the hard shoulder.
That. What the? Some kind of demon child. Hi love, look at the candle community we got here. It's beautiful. Look at all our children that have come together. Our lovely little family of glowing, bright futures. Every time I do a British accent, I sound like I'm like from Manchester.
There were chemical stains on the tarmac, the leak of air conditioning, brake fluid and petrol. He kept sniffing at his fingers as he sat by the roadside, waiting as if he couldn't quite understand or recognize their smell. He said he'd been travelling back from a sales conference in Exeter. He'd stopped for farewell drinks earlier, but had kept a careful eye on his intake. You could hear the sirens above the idling traffic.
A light from heaven shone. Oh, cryptic.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Huh. Huh. Yeah, they're little boats. So let's go up there. Oh! Stairway. Okay. I think. Oh man, that's a... That Eldritch Horror still wants us, man. It's just literally right up there waiting to take us. Well, guess let's go meet it.
The pain in my leg sent me blind for a few minutes as I struggled up the cliff path. I swallowed another handful of painkillers, and now I feel almost lucid. The island around me has retreated to a hazed distance, whilst the moon appears to have descended into my palm to guide me. I can see a thick black line of infection reaching for my heart from the waistband of my trousers. Through the fugue, it's all the world like the path I have cut from the lowlands towards the aerial. I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
It's very sweet in a very dismal kind of way. And he was proceeded. He was proceeding on his journey. I'm sure that's referencing something. I'm just... I don't know.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Oh, so are we like dying? Are we walking towards the light? Is that what's happening? Like the beacon in the darkness? Is that what's happening?
The stones in my stomach will weigh me down and ensure my descent is true and straight. I will break through the fog of these godforsaken pills and achieve clarity. All my functions are clogged, all my veins are choked. If my leg doesn't rot off before I reach the summit, it will be a miracle. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands.
It is 21 miles between the Sandford junction and the turn-off for home. All these things cannot, will not be a coincidence.
Clearly they don't give a shit about that no more. But then again, maybe we are the only personnel on the island, so... And these candles are fucking with me, dude. Oh, I can see it now. It's like right below it. Because fuck fences, I guess.
Blind with panic, deaf with the roar of the caged traffic, heart stopped on the road to Damascus, Paul sat at the roadside hunched up like a gull, like a bloody gull. As useless and as doomed as a syphilitic cartographer, a dying goat herd, an infected leg, a kidney stone, blocking the traffic bound for Sandford and Exeter. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. All his roads and his tunnels and his paths led inevitably to this moment of impact. This is not a recorded natural condition. He should not be sat there with his chemicals and his circuit diagrams. He should not be sat there at all.
The guy's losing his damn mind. Damascus. The word that continues to reverberate in my mind as I come to the summit of the great beacon that takes my life from my blood in my veins. Does that match the tone? I feel like that's pretty good.
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air, white lines etched into these rocks. Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We've always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Oh! Are we gonna fly? Oh, we're flying! I mean, we're probably not, but it seems that way, doesn't it? Where are we flying to? Are we flying to the moon? We're going to fly to the moon and play amongst the stars?
Come back.
Oh, well, shit, okay. That's so weird. Yeah, it was really weird, but like really cool. Like just wander around and just get the story and make up your own conclusion. It's pretty cool. I wonder if this was like a test for something, because it feels like very much like it was like testing graphics or something like that. Very cool. I think it's worth experiencing for yourself. I think it's really neat, like, in all honesty, and like having it be like up close and personal where you're seeing everything and you're interacting. Like it's different. Like it's real cerebral. I really like it. But definitely check it out. It's usually on sale like on several different platforms. Seems like it would be worth your time. Like it was definitely worth mine. We did this in like what, an hour and some change. Well, that was Dear Esther. Thanks for wandering around this very ethereal island with me. So in the meantime, make sure to stay safe, and as always, stay scary.